I am Sarah Stagg. I'm the marketing specialist for your newspaper, and we have Rick Kennedy, our new publisher, here from the news team as well. Rick, if you'll just wave. He's on camera. This is recorded. We will upload it to the internet tomorrow, so you'll be able to watch, share all the fun things that technology lets us do. This forum tonight is designed to be an honest attempt to understand where the candidates stand on the issues that are important to Ashley County. Each of the questions comes from the voters and are simply asked as a matter of curiosity with a goal of informed voting. Real quickly, here are the forum rules. The questions were gathered from the public previous to tonight. They will be presented by me to each candidate. Each candidate in a different order each round will come to the podium and answer the question with a time limit, then return to their seat. There is no debate and there is no rebuttal. We will begin with an up to 3-minute introduction from each candidate so they can tell you what office they are running for, what their name is, and a little bit about who they are. The other questions will have up to an up to 5-minute limit answer. Before we begin, let's all stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. There's one flag in the back and one to my left. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jim Wells is going to offer our prayer.
Let's pray. Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for tonight. Lord, thank you for the opportunity to be out with everyone that's here tonight. Lord, I just pray that you keep everyone safe. And Lord, I just thank you for the safe travel here, and I pray for safe travel home. Lord, just let us remember that we are representing you. We're not representing anything else. And I just pray that we can all act that way and make responses based on that. Lord, we love you so much. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. We'll start with an introduction from each candidate. Remember, this is an up to 3-minute limit. I have a timer going. The timer will go off, and I will say your time is up when your time is up. And we're going to start with Ronnie Wheeler. We'll do edges in first.
So you want to pull in front, huh?
Absolutely.
Right in the middle, huh? Okay, my name is Ronnie Wheeler. I'm running for District 6 Justice of the Peace. I've been a Justice of the Peace now for 12 years plus. I'm a resident of Ashley County, been a resident for my entire life. I've been in my district about 55 years. Married to my wife, Becky. She's the director of WE School, First Baptist WE School. She's been there about 37 years. We have 2 sons, Scott and Justin. Their wives, Scott's wife is Brooklyn, and Justin's wife is Melissa. Justin has 3 children, and Scott has 2. I desire to continue to help serve my county and area. I've done my best to be a person that speaks the mind of my people in my district and the county. I chose to do this because I had been on several state boards representing people with disabilities for the last 30 years, and I felt like I wanted to come home and to be a part of my local area again and be a part of what we do in our county. That's what I've got. So I appreciate your vote.
Sheriff Sargent.
My name's Tommy Sturgeon. I've been in law enforcement come June, be 40 years. I retired from the city of Crossett after 28 and a half years. Started serving as sheriff in 2017. I think we've done a good job in the county. We've made a good effect on the crime. Don't have anything else to tell you except meet the candidate. I mean, I've been here so long, surely everybody knows. If I can help you in any way, please call. We're here for y'all. Thank you.
Carl.
My name is Scott Parker. I'm running for Justice of the Peace, District 8. Born and raised right here in Ashley County, lived here my whole life just about. Grew up out in Milo, been across it now for 13 years. Self-employed flooring contractor. I'm gonna tell you, I got in this because I think we need overall change. I think it's time that we see some new ideas, fresh vision, new ways of looking at things. Not anything personal, it's just about an overall makeup, a change in the makeup of my desire here. I want to be open. If you need me, call me. I'll make myself available to everybody, not only in my district, but in the county. We've got a lot of work to do, but I'm here ready to do it. And I certainly appreciate your vote if you live in the city of Crossett. Thank you.
I'm Jim Wells. I live in Hamburg, Promised Land. I've been there my entire life. Graduated from Hamburg. I had a barber, most of y'all might know me from my barber shop in Hamburg. Nobody trusts bald-headed barbers, so I'm not going to change jobs. But I remember Promised Land Church. My wife is sitting here, Mary John. I just want to be county judge because I feel like there's some things that happen that if we had more input from the people, that we could work with our court, work with other branches of the state even to get some things done. I think it would be beneficial to the county. We see and hear things about it drying up and blowing away. It doesn't have to. We just have to be able to look beyond what we have and try to bring in more of what we need. So I'll be open to any questions after this. If y'all want to talk, we can surely talk, or I can meet with y'all at any time. So thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Dale Martini. I'm from Alabama. Alabama, Roll Tide, that's right. But I've moved here, I came to Georgia Pacific in 1989, so I managed a plywood mill and ended up retiring in paper and extrusion. So I've got 44 years with Georgia Pacific. And now I'm gonna say I'm a part-time employee for Diana with Premier Realty. I do the honeydew stuff and try to keep her out of trouble. I put out the signs. Do the hard stuff. I put out the signs. That's what I do. So we've got Premier Realty. We've been married 20 years, 3 months and 9 days, and we've got 5 children. We've got 1 in Colorado, 2 in Orange Beach now, and we've got twin boys that'll be 17 in 2 months. So, what with those little bitty guys, Miss Becky, that you led around for a long time, they're 17 almost now. So, but anyway, a lot of it, I heard Scott talk about why he got involved. I try to get involved in the county, the city. I mean, this is where we live and work every day, and it's a whole lot different than it was when I retired, and it's a whole lot different than it was when I got here. When we had 2,400 people in paper, and there was over 700 in plywood, and now we're down to 500 people in GP. Hood is leaving. I mean, we're dwindling. Some things have got to change now. As justice of the peace, obviously we can't make that happen, but it's involvement from us. Asking the tough questions of our leaders. I heard. Of course, I've been going to Quorum 4 meetings, and I heard people, say things like, I don't work for the people, I work for the county, and that kind of stuff. It's a we thing. I mean, we're all in this together, and if we're not doing it for the good of the people, then why are we even here? So, there's just some things. The same questions that you all have got, I've got as well, and I haven't been any more involved than you have. But I want to try to get involved. There's nothing against the person that I'm running against. I think the world. They've been friends for a long time. That's not what it is. It's just an opportunity to hopefully make some change and do some things different. And it's I'm not the only one running or opposing
There's a bunch. So there's a lot of people that think change is necessary. I'm just one of them. And if I can do anything, I can promise you that I will. Thank you.
Hey, I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I haven't met you yet. Your name's Corliss. Corliss. Talk to you on the phone. Come on. Hold on. You're ready.
I'm Corliss McCain from Wilmot, and I'm running for Ashley County, JP District 1. In 2017, I resigned, retired, whatever you want to call it, because of my husband was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So I felt like I needed to bow out to take care of him. Now, it'd be 8 years in June that he passed away, and I'm ready to come back. And I would appreciate everybody's vote in District 1. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Ron Miller, and I am in District 1 right now, and I'm from Wilmot, and I have not been there all my life, but I came there to teach school for 1 year in 1969, and I haven't found a way back out, and I fell in love with Ashley County and Wilmot. I've served on the school board, the city council, I've been mayor of Wilmot. I've been on the mainline board for a number of years. I ran a company by Old Grain until we sold it, and now if you went over there, it tore down, but we had nothing to do with that. So I have been involved in a lot of things over the years. I'm married to Gail back there for over 50 years. You can add it very easily, 55 this year, but we have 2 children. But I am enjoying being on the corn court, and I really feel like I've made a difference. When I got there, the personnel policy was a stapled group of pieces of paper. I led the charge to get it to where today you can look at it and you can get in depth and you can find out what needs to be done. We update it each year. I take the job very serious. I do a lot of studying, and I would appreciate your vote. And if you have questions, I keep my cell phone out, and I've been answering them, not just for the ones that's in just District 1, but in the county, because Ashley County is what's important. Absolutely, the Delta is important, but we are all working for Ashley County, and I do appreciate you. Thank you.
My name's Rhonda Pippen, born and raised here. My district is District 7. I've been in it since 2015. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, BJ, for 36 years. We've got 5 children, 4 grandchildren that live here in Ashley County. My job is an appraiser, and we both have a couple of jobs. We have rental, and we have a trucking business. And I take this job very seriously, and I try to do the very best I can do. And I pray about everything I do before I do it too. So, and this job is not easy, and I take my job seriously. So if there's anything I can do, just let me know.
Good evening, my name is Jamie Hopkins. I've been in Ashley County all my life for 6 years. I graduated from Monticello High School, attended UAM, Monticello, achieved a nursing degree and LPN. I've been in construction for over 35 years. I've worked for every major corporation around throughout the South. Georgia Pacific, International Paper Company, Exxon, Chevron, NASA. I've been to just about all of them. I feel like it's time for a change in Ashley County. I feel like there's some leadership that needs to be brought to this county. I feel like I have that leadership. And I appreciate you voting. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Jimmy Pennington from Hamburg. I'm running for re-election of District 3. I'm a resident of Ashley County for over 70 years, I won't give you my age. Been here a long time. My wife, the late Judy Pennington, passed away December 24. We raised 2 boys here in Hamburg. One of them chose to go to Alabama and stay, and the other one stays here. I have 4 granddaughters here. I went to work out of the railroad, AD&N. I worked there for 16 years, and then went into surveying. So some of you, I may have surveyed your land. I was a surveyor until about 12 years ago, and I retired. And I stayed retired for 4 or 5 years. And my wife said I had to find something to do. She couldn't put up with me. So I went to the school and started working at the school. So I've been to the Hamburg Middle School now for 7 years. And it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done. I get to be with kids that are, I've got about 1,000 grandkids in this county, in Hamburg. I love them. And all I can say is I'm representing District 3, but our whole districts are intertwined. We're Ashley County. And I will meet with anybody you don't have to do in my district. And all I can say is I'll do what the Lord tells me to do. And I like the job. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to serve. And I'm just glad to see this much interest in Ashley County. And I like choices. Now we've got choices. If you choose my opponent, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's just the way it is. But I enjoy it. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Jeff Langley. I'm District 5 JP at this point in time. I'm running for re-election. I worked for the city of Crossett for 20 years as a paramedic firefighter. I've worked 5 years in El Dorado as a paramedic, and I was on the school board for 5 years here in Crossett. I've been on the Quorum Court since 2013, and I would love to continue serving. I have 2 daughters. And I lost my wife in September of 24. And I can tell y'all, it's one of the hardest things that you can do. And while I have this forum, I want to tell each and every one of you, your husband may drive you crazy, your wife may drive you crazy, but love them, because you won't always have them. Thank y'all.
I guess I've been out of the loop. I heard about this meeting today. So I do not have anything really prepared. Just want to tell you that my name is Bob Rush. I have represented District 8 on the Quorum Court since 2010. Before that, I was your countywide circuit clerk for 18 years. I have tried in all of those years to do what I thought was best for Ashley County. I moved here with my family when I was in the 2nd grade in 1948, and it is now my home. My wife Charlotte could not come tonight, many of you know her. I am running for re-election from my district. I have tried to represent that district. I will continue to do what I think is best for that district and all of Ashley County. This is a place where we have all chosen to live, and if we can somehow make it a better place to live, then that's what we should be about. Thank you.
As we move to the questions that were turned in from the public, I would ask that each of the candidates speak up. We don't have a microphone, and I know all of you aren't a loudmouth like me, but if you'll speak up, we are recording so that people who can't be here tonight can watch it and be informed that way. So we will start on the second seat inward this time and rotate inward and loop around. First question, and a reminder, this is an up to 5-minute time limit for this. Remind us of the office you are running for and define its role in Ashley County in your own words. And so we'll start with Scott Parker. And I can repeat the question. Remind us of the office you are running for and define its role in Ashley County in your own words.
I am running for Justice of the Peace, District 8. The JPs control purse strings for the county. I don't think a lot of people understand that everything that goes on in the county-wise from a political standpoint is dictated by most of the people that sit here. Our JPs fund the jail for sheriff, hospital funding, roads, and unfortunately, we evidently bring in solar farms. So, I know that's a hot button issue for a lot of people. It's one for me. And I think his role as a JP, we can start talking to the people in the county. Do you want this? Do you not want this? Right now, at a 2:30 in the afternoon meeting, the average person can't tell you that, they're working. There's a lot of things that go on in our county government that you need to know about. But one thing, you need to start coming to court meetings, if you can, and find out what's going on, and find out what you can do, ask questions, the current members, future potential members, ask them. Because everything, the dollars spent in this county go through the QC. So, I want to get in there, not because I'm any better, smarter than anyone else, but to say that, you know what, let's look at this again maybe. Just because we've done it for 30 years, doesn't mean we have to keep doing it. So let's start taking a new look, fresh approach to things we do, maybe find ways they'll sort of reps and bring in some new businesses. So, I appreciate you guys. Any other questions, you can contact me afterwards. Thanks.
So I'm running for county judge. I would say from a business standpoint, it would be like the judge, like the CEO of the county. The quorum court, they do dictate a lot about the money. Actually, they control most of the money. It's been said, and it is true, that the judge doesn't answer to many people. But if we lose sight of that as an elected official, whether it be quorum court, mayor, judge, whatever, if we lose sight of what the people have to say, then we've lost sight of everything that we're trying to do. We have to listen to what the people say. Our ideas may not always be the best ideas, but that's why we need to be open. And and I'm sure the solar farm is going to be something that's going to be mentioned later on, but I'll address part of that now. I feel like that information amongst each other, quorum court members meeting with their people, you know, the judge meeting with everybody that wants to come and talk about it. Without the communication level of what we do, there's nothing will ever be done. I mean, we can stand back and sit in the church parking lot, or we can sit in the community building parking lot and talk about everything that they think and what they've done. But until you get out and vote, and until you get out and do the things that need to be done to make these things happen, you're just talking. That's really about all it is. There's nothing else to it. Businesses in Hamburg and Crossett and the Delta, it's bad, and it really is bad. I feel like that we would still be at 10 quorum court members had the population stayed the same as it was. And anytime that the school systems in your county are the #1 employers, I feel like that's probably not a really good thing. Because I think if we get more people in here, it's gonna have to be done through some type of business that's gonna make it happen. Not short-term money, but long-term money. And I'll take 25 jobs a year over 300 for 6 months anytime, because that's where we're gonna stay. Those people are gonna move their families in here, they're gonna be here, they're gonna send them to school, they're gonna buy groceries, they're gonna do things. But with that being said, if elected, I would try my best to be open to anything that was brought before me. Sometimes things aren't as easy as they appear. I hear a lot of talk about roads and getting the roads fixed, and I've been on the phone for the last few days talking to like Jet Asphalt and Johnsville Sand and Gravel and Highway Department. And a mile of road, asphalt alone is somewhere between $225,000 and $300,000. You've gotta have money to make a road. You've gotta have money to do a lot of things. I know Tommy and them, they do a good job with what they do because you hire good people, and with good road foremen and with good people that are on the budget committees with the quorum court. You just have to have good people in the right places to get a lot of things done. So that would be some of my goals to go forward.
I'll be running for District 7 Justice of the Peace, and I don't have all the answers. I don't know, but I know that as a Justice of the Peace and a quorum court, we deal with the budget. I mean, we got it's a $7, and I don't know all the answers, but it's a $7 million budget, and that's distributed between roads and library and public safety. There's a lot of stuff. The jail system. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, no doubt about it. The county employees, the salaries that they make, all those things. We can even marry people as a justice of the peace. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on. And, you know, the big thing is whatever does come forward, you know, that's what everybody deals with. There's not any bad ideas from anybody on the table. They're different, but they're not bad. Heck, I was probably successful doing what I did because I came up with such stupid things that other people would say, well, you know, we better come up with something better, we're gonna have to do that. So we generated ideas. I mean, it's just something to generate ideas and get people thinking and doing different. Jim mentioned the solar farms too. I mean, the big stink about the solar farms, nobody really knows. I mean, we've got all kinds of numbers that are being thrown out there, but we don't know the answers. I've spent all week with 4 very intelligent people, attorneys, etc., trying to figure out just what we're making off the solar farm down here in Crossett. And I'm not even gonna say what it is right now, but it's ridiculous, and I don't think anybody in here could tell me what it is. So very, very intelligent people, and that's what they do every day, and they had a very tough time figuring it out. So that's the biggest blanket around the solar farm deal. That's the biggest blanket there. It's almost like we're trying to hide stuff. I don't believe that's the case, but it's very difficult to find out what it is. And as quorum court members, you know, it's tough to ask those questions if you don't have the answer sitting in a quorum court meeting. It's tough to ask those questions sometimes, but that's what we would have to do. And to be a successful quorum court, I think that's what's going to have to happen from everybody. But with that, like I said, somebody said earlier, I'm going to be District 7, but it's not just District 7. It's going to be the entire county. And, you know, if anybody, I mean, I was on the city council at one time, and it didn't matter who called. I was going to try to help them if I could. So, you know, and I want to continue doing that. I'm on the advisory board at CenturyNext Bank, on the Prairie Country Club board out at the golf course. And we are, for those of you that have asked earlier, we are going to have a Mexican restaurant. I'm going to put a little jab in there. We've got a Mexican restaurant that's supposed to be opening in April out at the country club, so y'all stay tuned. But if anybody has any questions, I want to help any way I can, so thank you very much.
I'm Phyllis again, Vermont, running for JP
51. In my 14 years in the past being on the Quorum Court, I was the budget chairman, and it was a headache. I remember I used to get fever blisters and everything. It was just so much tension. But we got through it. I sat around and I see ones that were on there with me. In our meetings, we would go through the whole list, everything. I'd make notes. When I come before the full court, I had all of my notes, and I would explain each and everything that I thought was big and that was important, like the sheriff's budget, like the county judge's budget, and then we go through the other ones were not as big, but the road department was another big one. But we went through every one of those, and I always wanted to be as transparent as I could. I wanted the public to know what all was going on. If I tell you something, I will not lie to you. I will not promise you anything. And I will not lie to you. And, you know, I understand where everybody's coming from. We're all up here. I'm representing the whole entire Ashley County. It's not just District 1. That's who's going to vote for me in District 1, if I get any votes. But District 2, 3, 4, and 5, and up to 9, they can't vote for me. But I'm all about Ashley County. And I think we can do it with the right people. Thank you.
I'm Ron Miller, and I'm a Wilmot also. We both Wilmot. I am on the Budget Committee at the present time. I am chairman of the Personnel Policy Committee. All the committees are very important. The Budget Committee is a very important thing, and as you know, there's just so much money, just like in your house, when you get ready to do things, you have to choose sometime what you can do. We have some very good elected officials in each department. The sheriff over there, it doesn't say that the other people that run against them aren't good also. I'm not saying who's better or anything, the county judge, the tax assessor, all of them. And they have most been in office for a number of years. And they work the budgets up and bring it to our budget chairman and our budget committee. And we look at it, and a lot of it is not the way you can do anything with it. The only way you can do anything with salaries, except give pay raises, is run somebody off. Our county may be going down in numbers, but guess what? We got the same number of roads, we got the same number of potholes. The sheriff got the same area to cover. He may have 1 or 2 less houses, but you know, we find ways to make up for not having as many houses to have a headache. So not being able to cut people, or not able to cut vehicles or road graders, the money that we have are shrinking because of the population that we go down. So we had to, as a budget committee, not find new ways, and we had to look at what they do, and we had to evaluate it, and they do a very good job. And, you know, it's a joy to be on there, it's not a headache. And as I said, on the personnel policy, I have worked, we did the personnel policy handbook, and have an ordinance where it detailed of what takes place in what order, so that we run something that's terrible to not have an agenda, to have a meeting, to just have it go all over the place. And we have that. But the things that we at Quorum Court members do is the budget. Now, we don't tell Tommy where to buy gas. We don't tell him when to send deputies out, but we tell him how much he can pay them, how many deputies he can have. But it's not our job to run the county. It's our job to take the limited amount of money. We got about $7.5 million in the general fund. That includes the hospital tax that goes right in and out. We got about $4.6 million in road fund. That sounds like a lot of money, $4.6 million. Somebody was fussing about a road one day, and I took and told them that number. And then they said, man, and then I started breaking it down for them. They understood that there wasn't enough to go around. And it won't be enough for Jim. And by the way, Jim will win this race. It'll be either Jim Wells or Jim Hudson. Jim will win this race, I promise. I don't know about Corliss, and I don't know about Ron, but I do know about Jim. So I've given you something here tonight that doesn't help. But that, their jobs, their other jobs are, just like other people have said, you know, you have no control over that. But if you're a good Quorum Court member, you do have the ear of the county judge sometimes. And you can call up and say, you know, Joe over there, sure got a pothole or two in his road, could you do something with the road grader one of these days pretty soon? And you know, most of the time you get it done. So you may not control them and you don't tell him which one to grade and things, but you do have a relationship and with the policies and things of this nature. But that's the main thing, and of course, marrying people is one of the other things. But the things that we do in policy and procedural and budget, we do not want the money government budget.
Your time is up.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But I'm giving you my time.
On the picnic again, Justice JP7. I think they basically have covered everything that has to do with the JP and anything like that. So I've been on almost every committee there is. I've been to probably every meeting but one or two that could not help. So I put my all, everything I've done, I answer any questions I could and support or stand up for what needs to be stood up for. So that's it.
Once again, I'm Jamie Hopkins, I'm running for District 6. I want to apologize, I forgot to introduce my wife earlier.
We all know her.
Granddaughter Kennedy.
We all know her.
Yeah. One main reason I got in to want to run is, they don't mention it several times, is our road conditions. It's horrible. But I didn't realize until I talked to Jim as far as there's not enough money, as Mr. Ron said, to go around and fix everything. Throughout my years of construction, I worked for Larry Robinson at Long Robinson Construction. I also owned Larco. Part of Larco for several years, we had the Plum Creek road maintenance, which we changed out culverts, we put in bridges, graded roads, put in B-stone, anything to do with our roads. So I think I can be a big help to either Jim Hudson or Jim Wells on let's trying to come up with a budgetary way of fixing our roads. In October of 2023, I came home on my road, on Woodlow Road, and they just put all this mud down the road. When you do it in October, you know what's gonna happen throughout the winter. It's just gonna be nothing but mud. My wife was ticked because she keeps her vehicle spotless, and she just bought a brand new tire. So, and the lady at the end of our road, Miss Joyce Farrell, she has a car, she was stuck every other day. So I called Jim and I asked him, I said, Jim, why did you put this mess on my road? I said, did you have a quota you have to meet? Did you have to spend this money? They said, no. I said, why didn't you get out and talk to somebody and ask them if they wanted this mess on the road? He said, well, I don't know. I said, well, let me ask you this, Jim. If I had talked to you and asked you to wait till the spring to put this mess on my road, would you have waited? He said, yes, absolutely, I'd have waited. I said, well, let me ask you this. Do you have a schedule? Or do you just go in on Monday morning and say, we're gonna go over this road, and we're gonna change out this culvert, we're gonna change out this, and we're gonna tear up this road? He said, yeah, we got a schedule every month, about 2 months or 3 months in advance. I said, all right. So if I was to run for JP, and I came to you in April and asked you what you're gonna work on in June, could you tell me? He said, absolutely. I said, so I can go back to my District 6 and I can ask, say an example, you're gonna change a culvert out by Billy Mike Watt's house. If you don't want it changed out, would you negotiate with me as far as, let's not change that culvert out? He said, absolutely. I said, so if I go through my District 6 and I look and I prioritize what people are really wanting done to their roads in that area, and this does not meet your schedule, can we sit down and come up with another schedule for what people actually want? He said, absolutely. So that's when I made my mind up to run for JP. I think a lot of the problems with our road system is the JPs is not going out and talking to the people in their district, actually what they want. Now, can we fix everything at one time? We can at least come up with a schedule. Most of the people in my district said they didn't know nothing about it before they come in there and just start tearing roads out. There was no communication whatsoever. You need to let the people know if you're fixing to tear their roads up, culverts up, let them know communication. So that's the main reason that I'm running. Thank you.
Well, there's not much to say after all this. Just, like I said, we vote on the budget. And I will say this, COVID hit. Y'all remember COVID? We got a lot of money from the federal government in COVID. The budget was kind of easy there for a year or two because we had a lot of money. That COVID money's gone. The county is shrinking. The budget is getting harder and harder to do every year. We have the best departments. That man right there was running for our sheriff and all the other departments. I've been on the board, I've been on the board, I've been on a lot of boards, but I've been in JP for 6 years. And every time, they're running on the same budget that they did 5 years ago. Maybe just a little above. They are squeezing every dime they can. We've got some good officials that's doing good in their department. When I became a JP, I thought, Lord, I'm fitting to change the world. Boy, did I have a rude awakening. There's a lot of things I can't do that I thought I could do. I'm one voice. I'm one vote. That's it. So if you think you're going to get on here and change everything, there's some things, sure, we need change. But I'm telling you, you only got one voice. And I'll listen to everybody in the whole county. But when it comes down to it, we set up personnel policy, we do the budget. We don't have any say on what roads it gets paid. It's not our job, that's the judge. The judge has more authority than you think he's got. Don't we know that, Steve? We know that. Now, so there's things that we thought we had control of, we don't have control over. But what we do have control over is we got a voice. I'm a voice for you. And I take it, as Ron said, we can have an ear for you to the judge. But that's all I know. It's just our hands are tied to a lot of things. I've served with all these guys, and I know these guys running. Everybody up here would do a good job. The ones that's been on there, that I've been on there with 6 years, they've done the best they can do. And the ones that's challenging, if they win, they will be just as good. So.
Langley, running for District 5. I appreciate y'all letting me get through that a while ago. I'm not very good about talking about myself. The one thing I am proud of is, for the past, well, since 2017, I've been the budget chair. Everybody that's been on the budget committee with me has worked diligently to try to find money for not only raises, because our county employees are paid very little compared to what they do. But again, that goes back to how much money we have. I'm also on the hospital committee. The hospital committee basically is just to make sure the hospital grounds are taken care of. We have nothing to do with the hospital, how it's run. Anything that goes on at the hospital, we don't have any control over. All we have control over is the facilities, because that's what the county owns. I'm also on the personnel policy committee. Mr. Ron's a great chairman. He has went through and tried to make it easier and better for our officials to be able to take the personnel policy handbook and do what the will of the county is, which is what our personnel policy tries to do. As far as budgeting, like I said, we have some of the greatest people in our elected offices that go to work every day and spend the money as little as they can. The judge, he don't have a lot of money to spend, so his goes pretty good. Because there's a lot of things for the judge to take care of. But Tommy Sturgeon, I worked with Tommy for a long time. And when he was at the city, he never asked the city for a dime over what he was budgeted. He always turned back money. Same way at the county. That's hard to do with little money, but he does a great job of that, and I'd be honored that you also.
Again, I am Bob Rush, I represent District 8. I came here tonight not to be on the agenda, but to listen to what the people had to say, and hopefully could go back with your ideas and represent you better. I serve on several committees on the Quorum Court. The matter of making the Quorum Court meetings more accessible to the people. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, I spearheaded a drive to get the meeting time moved from 2:30 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and was able to get that done. For whatever reason, the court decided that there was not enough participation, and they moved the meeting time back to 2:30. So one individual does not have control over any issue that comes up in the county. I am trying my best to represent Ashley County, and especially District 8, and I appreciate several members that live in my district being here tonight. I believe that experience counts. I have served the whole county as your circuit clerk. I hope to continue to serve District 8 as your representative on the Quorum Court, and I will always be open and to listen to what the people want. And I thank you for the time.
All right, I'm Ronnie Wheeler. I represent District 6, running for re-election for District 6. The Quorum Court takes the taxes that you pay and takes state aid money. It all goes to the treasurer. The treasurer gives a projection as to what the funds will be available to the county. Each of the elected officials will give what their budget is for each one of their offices. And the quorum court takes those budgets, takes the projections, and we build a budget for the county. We're over basically all dollars that come through the county. Unless it's something that just kind of goes in and goes out, it comes through the budget, through the system of the JPs. As they've always said, each elected official, your county clerk, your treasurer, your assessor, your collector, your sheriff, the judge, they all have a budget. They submit what they feel that their offices will need. We take that and we build it towards what our projections are for the year. We decide how many employees are in each one of those offices, and we decide what their pay is. Now, that's not an easy job, and that's not a job none of us really want, but that is a part of our job, and that's what we do, is we set that budget up. And it's been really nice working with all of our elected officials. You notice that some of them don't even have opponents because they do such an efficient job, and that's not saying anything about any of the rest of us, but I'm just saying they do an efficient job there. Most all of our county officials are always spending under their budgets. I don't know that a year I've been there that there's been a single elected official that a budget was set that they did not have money that turned back. You gotta understand, we're a poor county. We're a large county, but we're a poor county. And when you give very large tax breaks, well then you don't have a lot of tax breaks that you've got to be able to pay out. So that's our main job. Our second job is policy. We set policy, both for all of the elected officials and for each employee, we set those policies. The third thing that we do is we set ordinances. Ordinances for the county is the laws. I don't know that we've really dealt, as long as I've been on the court, to where we've actually had to pass a certain law, but everything we do has to go through an ordinance. When that ordinance is done and voted on and passed, well then that means that it's set into law. We are a branch off of your state legislators. We're not like a city council. I've been a city council. I've served in Crossett a year, a long time ago, but we're different. We're like the state legislature, and we're a branch off of them. We take money in from state aid, and we've got three budgets basically. We have general funds, we have a jail fund, and then we have a road fund. And out of all three of those, we set budgets for each one of the elected officials in their offices. I've served on just about all the committees except for the policy committee. I hadn't served on it, but I've enjoyed my opportunity to serve the county and the individuals. Most of you will know that I serve not only my district, but everyone. You can call me anytime you get ready, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. And if I can't find it, I'll find an answer for you. I'll go and get it. I do my research. I study the laws. I study past ordinances that we've passed. We've got 2 ordinances books that are that thick. And I'm not joking, they're that thick and they're about that big. But I do my best to try to hear my district's request, but anytime anybody needs anything, just give me a call. My phone is easily accessible to anyone.
I'm going to repeat the question for Brian. He slipped in a little bit late. Remind us of the office you are running for and define its role in Ashley County in your own words.
My name is Brian Coyle, I'm running for JP for District 2. Person and policy, that's, as you've heard from several of the people running and several of the current JPs. JP sets all ordinance for employees. Anything that has to do with employees of an elected official, that's the JP's responsibility. They handle the budgets, dedicate money to the individual places in the county where it goes between the elected offices and the road department and so on. I've had the pleasure of spending the last 5 years working on semi-trucks for different individuals around here as a self-employed person. Served the county in that way, had the privilege to be around all the people. And now I'm searching for the privilege to be able to represent people of District 2 in the same way. Everybody's talking about transparency here, and I agree 100% with them. There needs to be more communication between the JPs and the districts, not just District 2, all the districts. Thank you.
Okay, if I'm correct, that everybody got a chance to answer that question, right? Not you?
Which question?
The one about remind us of the office you are running for.
So, again, Tommy Sturgeon, running for re-election as Sheriff of Ashley County. My role's a little different than these gentlemen. I have to follow county ordinances, I have to follow county policy, state law, federal law. My main job description is defined by the state of Arkansas as service to the courts, which means I have to have deputies in the courts, securing the judge, securing the juries, serving court papers, which is about 700 papers a month. We get them from all over the United States. Writs of execution is not fun, we gotta do those also. I try to stay within my budget. As Jeff said, I've never went over. Even when I was city of Crossett, I always made sure that I am a good steward of your tax money. That's about all I know to tell you about the job. But we serve the court and we protect the lives best we can. And as far as open door policy, the first thing I did the day I took office was take the electric lock off the front door. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you need us, you come see us.
This next question is for the justices of the peace only. There is an option when the quorum court that the justices serve on is voting, that each justice can vote in favor, against, or abstain. In your opinion, what is the purpose of the absent vote, and why should you be able to or not to use it? And we'll start with this side, Dale.
Three options. Well, you're gonna vote in favor, just to start with, before you'd even vote. I mean, what the job that we have is to get out and advocate, not just our district, but advocate with the people that are in the county. You know, let's use a solar farm, that's a big hot topic right now. You know, are you for it, against it, abstain? I don't even know why abstain is there. I don't understand abstain. If you're not for it, you're not against it, I guess you'd abstain, so that nobody's mad at you. You're not gonna make anybody mad. But to abstain is like, I'm not gonna do my job, in my opinion, that's my opinion. But again, to be for it, you know, you gotta get out and advocate with the people, understand what they want. If we're talking about a solar farm, do we want the solar farm? Well, I think the honest answer is, I don't know. So what's it gonna do for us? You know, if it's only gonna be 2 or 3 houses, that shouldn't be a big deal, unless you're one of those 2 or 3 houses. And that's when you gotta talk to the people that live in the area or those folks. I mean, I'm not on the quorum court, but I went out to see for myself, because I live in Ashley County just like y'all do. I wanna know what's going on. Is it a good thing? I went out there with, you know, open mind. But when I went out and I saw this God's country place, and to think that this guy is fixing to get bombarded, I'm afraid I'd sit out in the road waiting on somebody. I couldn't imagine having that decision made. So I can say with certainty, and knowing, especially today, knowing what I know, what it's bringing to the, I'll say the school system. What I heard was gonna bring to the school system in Hamburg is a totally different number than what it's bringing to the across the school system. So with that, you can get a couple of rental properties and make more money in a year than what we're getting from this one down here. So to answer, to vote yes for it, I couldn't do that. Using that as an example. But no would be that you're for it. If you vote to bring the solar farm in, then you're okay with it. And of course, if you say no, you're probably gonna make some people mad that want that little bit of revenue that's gonna come to the city. And if you're afraid you're gonna make somebody mad on either end of it, of course, that's where the abstain would come in. You're not doing your job. I don't think we're doing our job if we do that. So I would never abstain. You're gonna know how I feel about it one way or the other, good, bad, or indifferent. Everybody would know, particularly in my district and the folks that ask questions about it. So I'm gonna try to help, whether I end up on the quorum or not, because the person that I'm running against, I'm not running against her because she's doing a bad job. She does a fantastic job. She does the best she can do every day. I know she does. But I think it's just a little bit, it's time for maybe a new order, different ideas. I'm gonna get out and I'm retired, I need something to do. So I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna talk to folks, I'm gonna find out. If I can help, I'm going to, but yes, no, or abstain, I think everybody should know how we feel about it, in my opinion.
Okay, well, first I'm gonna do my homework before I vote on anything. And second, sometimes I have been at the quorum court meeting, and sometimes things get put on there at the last minute, and you don't know much about. So I think in my 14 years on the quorum court, I don't think I ever abstained from voting. If I didn't feel right, I voted no. I'm not for solar panels. I would definitely vote no for that. And when I think it's a good thing, of course, I'm going to vote yes. So that's all I got to say.
Probably the world's worst to say, you lay this on my desk and we're going to vote on it in 3 minutes? Don't think so. We had a resolution on it. I don't know how solar panels got in it, but I'm going to address it in a moment anyway. We had a resolution on tax abatement. We have no control over people's land, where we put it in whatever. The EPA and other things have control over different things, but we had a resolution that we would ask to vote on, and we were handed a stack of papers about like that. And I said, I can't vote on that today. I can't vote yes, I can't vote no, and I don't abstain unless, I guess there could be a reason, I don't know what it was. And so we delayed that. Y'all posted it in your papers that we did not do it. We came back to the next meeting, and there was no one there but solar panel, which was going to be revenue, and people were going to have the option of doing it. They made agreements, but they asked for a tax abatement, and that's the resolution. Found out later that we can vote on any resolution. We can vote on a resolution to say that tomorrow is going to be a sunny day, and we can vote yes or no. A resolution is just something that we can, it had no law, it had nothing but our opinion as a quorum court of what a resolution is. But we voted on that resolution, And we found out later that we have no control over that. And I did a whole weekend of studying to find out that we had no control over tax abatements. But I want to study something, just like she said, and then I vote yes or no, what is good for the county, not always what is good for what Ron Miller finds, because I have called out before that we've done something, and maybe I don't agree with it. The forum report said it this way, so yes or no is my way I normally vote, but I want to study it, and I have asked things to be tabled until we study it, and that was one of them. Thank you. I didn't know my 5 minutes.
Yes, it's clear, yes, no, I voted all yes, no. And I've never done abstain, but I would always put no vote if something was not given enough information to me, or at the last minute something was provided and I don't have time to research it. I have put no vote many times, because I don't want to vote on something that I don't know what's I'm voting for. As far as the solar farms, I voted no.
Well, like several have said, you know, when something's presented to you, you should do your investigation. You should get all the facts and do your research. Most importantly, go to the area or the county that it's going to affect what you vote for. I think a lot of times, a lot of people put their personal opinions, what they feel about it, but I don't think you should consider that. You should take the facts, what's out there, what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong, whether you agree with it or not, but it is for Ashley County. That's how you should vote, but you should vote yes or no, and that's it. Thank you.
Well, I guess twice in my 6 years. I abstained once because my daughter-in-law and son was involved in the deal and I couldn't vote on it. So I abstained. Second time I abstained was because I didn't have enough information. And I said I abstained until the next. We had a big meeting with the public and the solar panel people. And I wanted to get enough information to make a yes or no vote. I went to that meeting, and then up until then, I had, I don't know, maybe the people is not, my phone's public. I had 5 phone calls wanting the solar panel in. I had nobody in my district call me and said they was against it. Not one person. And so I needed some more information, so I abstained till I went to that meeting. I come back. I'm not for solar panels either, but I had to get enough. I'm gonna get enough information. It's like somebody said, I don't know how many times something they bring in there for us to vote on. Right that minute, and I've never seen this before in my life. And they want us to vote on it. So, yeah, I don't like to abstain, but if I hadn't got enough information, I would abstain till I get in. We didn't have another vote. We was gonna have another vote, but we found out that our vote didn't matter anyway. So that's the way I feel. I'm sorry.
Well, Mr. Denny covered it pretty well there, and I was gonna say that, I've always voted either yes or no. There is a time when you do need to abstain though, and that's when you have a personal conflict. And sometimes there are things that are personal conflicts because we're Ashley County citizens too. But in my opinion, it's either a yes or no. And you can look at my vote record, and it's either yes or no. And I stand by what I voted. I always try to do what's best for Ashley County. I always try to do what's best for my district. like everybody said. Our phone numbers are public. During this whole process of all this stuff that's going on, and according to Peck today, it was 8 months we talked about solar farm. Not one call, not one person. You called after we voted. There wasn't anything we could do about it. There's interaction between people every day. 90% of the people in this county can't tell you who their quorum court member is. That's what we need to change. So if we want change in this county, you have to let your representative know what you want. But if you don't let your representative know what you want, we have to do what we think is right.
Would you repeat the question, please?
There's an option when the quorum court that the justices serve on is voting that each justice can vote in favor, against, or abstain. In your opinion, what is the purpose of the abstinent vote, and why should you be able to or not to use it?
Thank you. That's what I thought we were here to discuss. We have brought a specific issue before you, and that was not in the question. The question before the court, if we have enough information before a quorum court meeting to make a decision, I will vote either yes or no. And it's already been brought up. If there's a personal conflict, or if we get something brought before us at that meeting that we have not had an opportunity to study, yes, I will abstain. But if I have an opportunity to hear both sides of an issue and can make a decision, I will vote either yes or no. I'm not going to get into a specific issue on this question. Thank you.
Well, I guess we could beat a dead horse, but normally, like we've all said, that if I'm a person that likes a lot of information, I don't like to come into a quorum court meeting and something be laid on our desk and ask us to vote on it. We've done that, and there's been times where I've voted no, just simply because I didn't have time to study what was being presented to me. Abstain is for if you've got a conflict, that being either direct or indirect. That could be personally, or it could be a business venture you're in, or whatever. But an abstention is supposed to be if you've got some kind of a conflict that is direct or indirect. My votes are going to be yes or no if I've had enough time. And if I've had enough time, I'm going to go to my constituents and I'm going to call them up on the phone and say, hey, I've got an issue before me. What do you think I need to do? And I'll call 4, 5, 6 people before sometimes I'll make a decision what I'm going to make. But if it's immediate, it's going to be a yes or no. But there have been times I have used the extension because we just flat didn't have time and didn't have the information that we needed to make an appropriate vote. We chose to vote, but we shouldn't have voted. And so that's, I don't have a whole lot of conflicts. I'm not in business for myself. I'm not in business with anybody else. I'm retired. I was in the education field, retired in 2006, and I don't have a whole lot of conflicts. But there are a lot of times when we should be using extensions. And I know that there's been times that people have voted when they should abstain, when you've got a conflict. And it's an important vote at times. But my votes will be a yes or no.
I guess being the last seat, I do have to offer to beat the dead horse. But, yes, no, and abstain, yes and no is pretty clear. Mr. Bob said it real well. Abstaining is if there's a conflict of interest. A quorum court member can choose to abstain if they don't have enough information, as everybody else has said. If something's thrown in your lap real quick, you can abstain. I can give you a chance to talk to the people of your district, make phone calls, go look at a situation. Not every rush decision is a good decision.
As been said, personal or financial conflict would, I think, warrant someone abstaining from a vote. Short of that, you should always cast yes or no. Let people know where you stand. Right or wrong, take a vote. But what I've noticed here a lot is evidently we have a lot of votes being put before the QC without enough information. We need to address that. Let's don't be putting things to vote on, and we don't give everybody serving time to study them. That way we don't have to worry about abstaining because we don't have enough information.
Okay, we had a lot more questions turned in, but we don't have a lot more minutes. So I'm just gonna cut it off there. We will have another one of these candidate forums closer to the general election in November. And I just gently urge each of y'all to spread the word and get more people here. Maybe we'll need a bigger location, but yeah, y'all have a good evening. Thanks for coming out, and thanks to all these who are